Venezuela, the extraordinary summit of CELAC is taking place at this time. Speaking at this moment is the Foreign Minister of the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela, Ivan Hill. We are joining you for this meeting at a crucial moment in Latin American history. Your Excellency, the Foreign Minister of Colombia, José Yolanda Villalal Vicencio. Your Excellencies, the Foreign Ministers, and the sisters and brothers of Latin America and the Caribbean. I address these words today on behalf of the constitutional president of the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela, Nicolas Maduro Morov, to denounce before this community of states an extremely serious event, an event that transcends Venezuela and directly challenges the conscience, historical reasoning, and political responsibility of all of Latin America. January 3, 2026 will go down as a dark date in the history of our country. That day, the current government of the United States of America openly and deliberately violated the zone of peace in Latin America and the Caribbean, unanimously proclaimed by the 33 states that make up CELAC. In 2014, a cowardly and criminal military aggression was carried out. Venezuelan civilians and military personnel were murdered and the illegitimate constitutional president of the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela was kidnapped. This was not an accident, it was not an isolated action. It was a cruelly planned operation executed in complete disregard of international law. Fundamental principles that sustain the international legal order were violated here. The Charter of the United Nations, the cornerstone of the international system, was violated. Article 1. Which obliges states to resolve their disputes by peaceful means, and Article 2, Paragraph 4, which categorically prohibits the use or threat of use of force against the territorial integrity and independence of any state. Article 2, Paragraph 7, which enshrines the principle of non-intervention in the internal affairs of states. But not only that, international humanitarian law was violated by carrying out attacks that caused the death of people who were not participating in activities, contravening the principles of distinction, proportionality and military necessity, pillars of the law of armed conflict. Fundamental human rights were violated, particularly the right to life, the right to personal integrity and the right to security protected by international, conventional and constitutional law. And a principle of enormous institutional gravity was violated, the personal immunity of a sitting head of state, a basic norm of international law that protects not a person, but the stability of the international system and coexistence between nations. Whoever kidnaps a president kidnaps the sovereignty of a people. And the most alarming thing is that this election was warned. Since August of last year, 2025, Venezuela has warned this community about the escalation, a dangerous military escalation in the Caribbean, about the deployment of foreign forces based on systematic provocations. Most of the CELAC countries expressed their concern at that time. President Nicolas Maduro clearly warned that the peace zone was being violated. It was not a surprise, it was an announced aggression. Today, This event exposes the double standards and historical hypocrisy of certain governments in the United States of America and Europe. For years, they have used a supposedly moral discourse to attack Venezuela. They spoke of democracy, they spoke of human rights, they spoke of international legality. The facts, esteemed foreign ministers, demonstrate that they were never interested in any of that. Whoever bombs, whoever kills civilians, whoever kidnaps a president, cannot defend human rights. Whoever violates the Charter of the United Nations cannot speak of an international order based on rules. Whoever disregards the sovereignty of others does not believe in democracy. What has become clear, and today they cannot hide it, is that what interests them are the natural resources, the oil, the energy, the land, the water, the biodiversity of our region. They have said it themselves. The masks have definitively fallen. That is why we state with absolute clarity that this attack is not just against Venezuela, it is an attack against Latin America and the Caribbean. Today it was Venezuela, tomorrow it could be any other country that decides to exercise its sovereignty. And here CELAC faces a historic responsibility. CELAC cannot hesitate. CELAC cannot be divided between lukewarm condemnations and complicit silence. Principles are not negotiable, they are not qualified, they are not softened. Either one is on the side of international law or one is on the side of the law of the strongest. The countries of CELAC must step forward because remaining silent in the face of this aggression is tantamount to endorsing it. Venezuela is willing to assume this historic responsibility. And we say this based on our history. Venezuela is not just any country. Venezuela is the birthplace of Simón Bolívar, the liberator. It is the land of Antonio José de Sucre, the great leader of Venezuela, the only country in the history of humanity whose army used continents not to dominate, but to liberate. From Caracas to Potosi, from Boyaca to Ayacucho, our children gave their blood so that today there would be free republics in Colombia, Ecuador, Peru, Panama and Bolivia. Bolívar did not wear chains, he brought independence, he did not bring plunder, he brought freedom. That is why our struggle is a struggle of principles. Today, Venezuela, despite the attack, is at peace and calm. Its institutions are fully functioning. Its constitution is very robust. There is a constitutional president, Nicolas Maduro Morto, who although he is currently illegally kidnapped, continues to be the head of state in full exercise of his mandate. We demand his immediate and unconditional release, as well as that of First Lady Sylvia Flor. Our people are united. There is a solid popular, military and police union, a guarantee of stability. Venezuela continues to grow, produce and advance. It was the country with the highest economic growth in Latin America in 2025 and will be in 2026. We continue to provide energy to the world, we continue to build peace and we continue to firmly commit to diplomatic and daily channels. But let no one be mistaken, we will not accept humiliation or imposition. CELAC was created in Caracas in 2011 with the assistance of the 33 heads of state and government of the region to defend the sovereignty, independence and dignity of our peoples. Today that mission is more relevant than ever. As Simón Bolívar taught us, I open quotes, peace will be my port, my glory, my reward and everything I have wanted most in life. Venezuela fights for peace, but it is prepared to defend its dignity, its sovereignty and the future of our minds. We are firm, we are ascending, we are descending. I must point out in light of the recent statements by the Secretary of State of the United States, Marco Rubio, that it is important for this community to assume that Venezuela continues to be under threat, continues to be under siege and that it is extremely important for CELAC to immediately demand the re-establishment of international legality. Which involves the immediate withdrawal of all military forces in the Caribbean that threaten the peace of the region and which involves requesting and confirming the immediate and unconditional release of the constitutional president of the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela. In this regard, we propose that at this meeting we discuss the necessary institutional mechanisms under the leadership of the pro-tempore presidency of this organization in order to immediately restore the violated international legality and have a president elected by his people return to the country, exercising the constitutional mandate that has been granted to him. Thank you very much, dear foreign ministers and the general public. A hug.
Thank you very much, Mr. Minister Ivan Gil. The floor is now given to His Excellency the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Uruguay, Mario Lubitkin. Thank you very much, moderator.
Información del gobierno revolucionario sobre combatientes caídos en cumplimiento de su deber en Venezuela. Como resultado del criminal ataque perpetrado por el gobierno de los Estados Unidos contra la hermana República Bolivariana de Venezuela, efectuado en la madrugada del 3 de enero de 2026, perdieron la vida en acciones combativas 32 cubanos, quienes cumplían misiones en representación de las Fuerzas Armadas Revolucionarias y el Ministerio del Interior a solicitud de órganos homólogos del país sudamericano. Fieles a sus responsabilidades con la seguridad y la defensa, nuestros compatriotas cumplieron digna y heroicamente con su deber y cayeron tras férrea resistencia en combate directo contra los atacantes o como resultado de los bombardeos a las instalaciones. Una vez comprobada su identidad, los familiares de nuestros compañeros caídos fueron informados y recibieron las sentidas condolencias y apoyo del general de ejército Raúl Castro Ruz, líder de la Revolución Cubana, y del primer secretario del Comité Central del Partido y presidente de la República, Miguel Díaz-Canel Bermúdez, así como de las jefaturas de ambos ministerios. Víctimas de un nuevo acto criminal de agresión y terrorismo de Estado, los combatientes supieron poner en alto con su actuación heroica el sentir solidario de millones de compatriotas. El gobierno revolucionario organizará las acciones correspondientes para rendirles el merecido tributo. A continuación, damos lectura al decreto presidencial 1147. Miguel Díaz-Canel Bermúdez, presidente de la República. Hago saber que en virtud de lo dispuesto en los artículos 125 de la Constitución de la República de Cuba y el 24, inciso X, de la Ley 136 del presidente y el vicepresidente de la República de Cuba del 28 de octubre de 2020, he considerado lo siguiente. Por cuanto, con profundo dolor, nuestro pueblo ha conocido que durante el criminal ataque perpetrado por el gobierno de los Estados Unidos contra la hermana República Bolivariana de Venezuela, efectuado en la madrugada del 3 de enero de 2026, perdieron la vida en acciones combativas 32 cubanos, quienes cumplían misiones en representación de las Fuerzas Armadas Revolucionarias y el Ministerio del Interior a solicitud de órganos homólogos de ese país. Nuestros compatriotas cumplieron dignamente con su deber y cayeron tras férrea resistencia en combate directo contra los atacantes o como resultado de los bombardeos a las instalaciones y supieron poner en alto con su actuación heroica el sentir solidario de millones de compatriotas. Por tanto, en el ejercicio de las atribuciones conferidas por el artículo 128, inciso ñ de la Constitución de la República de Cuba, he decidido dictar el siguiente Decreto Presidencial 1147. Primero, declarar 2 días de duelo nacional a partir de las 6:00 am del día 5 de enero hasta las 12 de la noche del día 6 de enero de 2026. Segundo, disponer que mientras esté vigente el duelo nacional, la bandera de la estrella solitaria se hice a media asta en los edificios públicos e instituciones militares. Tercero, durante la vigencia del duelo nacional quedan suspendidos los espectáculos públicos y actividades festivas. Cuarto, los ministros de las Fuerzas Armadas Revolucionarias, del Interior y de Relaciones Exteriores quedan encargados del cumplimiento de lo dispuesto en el presente decreto. Publíquese en la Gaceta Oficial de la República de Cuba, dado en el Palacio de la Revolución a los 4 días del mes de enero de 2026, año del centenario del comandante en jefe Fidel Castro Ruz, firmado Miguel Díaz-Canel Bermúdez,